In a world that thrives on chaos and noise, staying calm is an act of rebellion. Most people let their emotions toss them around like leaves in the wind, but not you. You're here to learn how to rise above the turmoil, to master the art of unshakable composure. The Stoics, warriors of the mind, knew that calm wasn't just a state of being. It was a weapon. A weapon that could turn the tide in battles, both external and internal. Today I'm going to share with you 9 timeless Stoic lessons, each one a stepping stone toward mastering life's greatest challenge, maintaining your peace when the world tries to steal it. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're battle-tested principles forged in the fires of adversity, used by emperors, generals, and philosophers to remain steady in the face of chaos. Whether you're dealing with difficult people, overwhelming stress, or the curveballs life throws your way, these lessons will empower you to stay calm, strong, and in control. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Control what you can. Imagine you're a sailor caught in a relentless storm. The sky is dark, lightning splits the horizon, and the sea is a violent, frothing beast. You could scream at the heavens, cursing the storm for its fury. You could panic, trying to wrestle the sea itself into submission. But would it make a difference? Would the storm care? No. The wind will howl whether you rage or stay silent. The waves will rise, indifferent to your pleas. Now imagine a different response. You focus on what is within your power. You tighten the sails. You secure the ropes. You keep a firm grip on the wheel, guiding the ship as best you can. The storm may still rage, but you've done your part. You've taken control of your role as a sailor, and that's all that's required. This is the essence of Stoicism, understanding the critical distinction between what is within your control and what lies beyond it. The Stoics believed that inner peace and unshakable calm stem from mastering this distinction. Life, like the sea, will always be unpredictable. People will behave in ways you cannot foresee. Circumstances will arise that defy your plans. Outcomes will often fall short of your expectations. Yet none of this should disturb your peace, as long as you focus on your sphere of control. Let's dig deeper. What is within your control? Your thoughts, your actions, your responses. These are your domain where your power is absolute. You decide how to interpret the world, how to react to adversity, and how to carry yourself through life. This is where true freedom lies, because no one can take these things from you unless you allow it. Conversely, what lies beyond your control? The opinions and actions of others, the weather, the economy, the twists of fate that no amount of planning can predict. These are the external forces, indifferent to your desires or anxieties. Yet how often do we find ourselves consumed by these very things? We lose sleep over someone else's opinion, grow angry at events we cannot influence, or despair when life doesn't unfold as we'd hoped. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled as emperor during some of Rome's most turbulent years, faced more challenges than most of us could imagine. Yet he remained composed, guided by a simple yet profound truth: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This principle is not an excuse for passivity or resignation. It's not about surrendering to fate and giving up on making a difference. Quite the opposite. By focusing on what you can control, you unlock the full potential of your influence. You stop wasting energy on battles you cannot win and direct it toward the things that truly matter. Think about it. How often do we sabotage our peace by clinging to the uncontrollable? We fret over whether people like us, replaying conversations in our heads. We get frustrated by delays or inconveniences, as if our anger could somehow alter reality. We chase outcomes with an iron grip, believing that our happiness depends on things turning out a certain way. But the truth is, all of this is a mirage. The more you try to control the uncontrollable, the more you suffer. The Stoic response is simple but powerful. Focus on your inner fortress. When faced with a challenging situation, ask yourself, what is within my power right now? Maybe you can't control someone's rude comment, but you can choose not to let it affect your mood. Maybe you can't change the fact that it's raining, but you can choose to embrace the rain or find shelter. Maybe you can't guarantee success in a venture, but you can give it your best effort, knowing that effort itself is a victory. This mindset is liberating. It frees you from the shackles of anxiety and frustration. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the master of your own life. And here's the paradox: when you let go of the need to control everything, you often find that life flows more smoothly. People are drawn to those who radiate calm and confidence. Challenges become opportunities for growth rather than sources of despair. But don't mistake this for complacency. The Stoic approach is not about retreating from the world. It's about engaging with it fully, but on your terms. You become like a skilled sailor, navigating life's seas with wisdom and courage. You understand that while you cannot calm the storm, you can calm yourself. And in doing so, you often inspire calm in others. So remember this: control what you can. Release what you cannot. In that simple yet profound balance lies the key to a life of peace, strength, and resilience. The world may roar, but you will remain unshaken. The storm may rage, but you will sail through it, calm and resolute. This is the power of Stoicism. This is the power of mastering your mind. Lesson 2. Embrace the present moment. Have you ever caught yourself replaying an awkward conversation from years ago, or worrying endlessly about a future event that may never happen? If so, you're not alone. The human mind has a habit of living in two places where it holds no real power: the unchangeable past and the uncertain future. And while your mind is busy wandering, life, real, tangible life, is slipping by, moment by precious moment. The Stoics were relentless in their pursuit of living fully in the present. To them, the past was a teacher, not a prison. The future was a possibility, not a source of fear. They believed that by grounding ourselves in the now, we could free ourselves from the unnecessary weight of regret and anxiety. Marcus Aurelius, a man burdened by the responsibility of ruling an empire, often reminded himself of this simple truth: confine yourself to the present. These words were not just philosophical musings, they were a battle cry for a life well lived. Why is the present moment so vital? Because it's the only realm where you have control. Think about it. Can you rewrite a mistake from 5 years ago? Can you guarantee what will happen 5 days from now? The answer, of course, is no, but what you can do is take action today, in this very moment, to live with it purpose, to correct your course, or to appreciate life's fleeting beauty. Let's explore the dangers of living outside the present. Dwelling on the past often leads to regret. We replay our failures, wishing we had done things differently. But this endless loop accomplishes nothing. The past is a closed chapter. You can learn from it, yes, but you cannot change it. And yet, how many of us spend hours, even years, mentally stuck in moments that no longer exist? Then there's the future, that vast, unknowable horizon. We fill it with our hopes, fears, and expectations, often to our own detriment. We stress about outcomes that may never happen, or we pin our happiness on some distant goal, believing that life will finally begin when we reach it. But the future, like the past, is beyond our control. When we live in constant anticipation or dread, we miss the life unfolding before us. The practice of embracing the present is about reclaiming your power. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to what's happening now. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Notice the texture of the ground beneath your feet. Listen to the sounds around you. The present moment is rich with detail, but we often overlook it, consumed by thoughts of elsewhere. Imagine this scenario. You're at dinner with friends. Laughter fills the air, the aroma of delicious food wafts around you, and the conversation flows easily. But instead of being fully present, your mind drifts. You're thinking about that work deadline or rehashing a recent argument. You're physically there, but mentally you're miles away. Now, imagine if you could fully immerse yourself in that dinner. You'd savor the food, engage deeply with your friends, and create memories that are vibrant and full. This is what the Stoics meant by living in the present. It's not about ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It's about not letting them dominate your mind. Epictetus famously said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well." In other words, accept life as it unfolds, moment by moment. Here's a practical way to bring this into your daily life. Whenever you feel yourself drifting into regret or worry, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is happening right now? What can I do in this moment to live well? This simple exercise can snap you out of mental time travel and bring you back to the present, where life is happening. The more you practice this, the more you'll realize that the present moment, no matter how mundane or challenging, is enough. It's where growth happens. It's where joy resides. It's where you find the strength to face life with grace and composure. So don't waste your time chasing shadows of the past or phantoms of the future. Embrace the now. Dive deeply into it. In doing so, you'll unlock a calm and clarity that most people spend their lives searching for. The present is your sanctuary. Enter it fully, and you'll find everything you need. Lesson 3. Master the art of perspective. Life is full of challenges, from the small inconveniences like spilled coffee or delayed flights to the profound hardships such as loss or failure. But here's the Stoic truth. The events themselves are neutral. They carry no inherent weight of good or bad. It is our perspective, our interpretation, that defines them. And once you master the art of perspective, you'll find that even life's toughest moments lose their sting. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Events in life are like blank canvases, and it's up to you to paint them. Will you see setbacks as disasters or as opportunities to grow? Will you view criticism as an attack or as a chance to refine yourself? The power lies entirely within you. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. Most people's immediate reaction would be frustration, maybe even anger. But pause for a moment. What does this anger accomplish? Does it clear the road? Does it move the cars? No. The situation remains unchanged. But what if you shifted your perspective? Instead of seeing the traffic as a barrier, see it as a chance to practice patience, to listen to a podcast, or to reflect on your day. The event hasn't changed, but your experience of it has transformed entirely. Now, apply this to larger challenges. Suppose you've just faced a significant failure, a business venture didn't work out, or you were rejected from a job you wanted. In the moment, it's easy to label this as bad, to feel defeated and question your worth. But consider this: every failure is a teacher. Every setback holds a lesson. Marcus Aurelius, who faced wars, plagues, and political betrayal, wrote, "Objective judgment, now at this very moment. Unselfish action, now at this very moment. Willing acceptance, now at this very moment of all external events." That's all you need. Perspective gives you the ability to see beyond the immediate pain and recognize the broader picture. What seems like a loss today might be the very thing that sets you on a better path tomorrow. What feels like a personal attack could be a moment to build resilience. By shifting your perspective, you transform obstacles into stepping stones. The Stoics practiced this intentionally through a technique called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. They would visualize worst-case scenarios, not to dwell on them, but to prepare their minds. By doing so, they diminished the power of fear and anxiety. If the worst happens, they were ready. And if it didn't, they were grateful. This exercise reminds us that most of what we fear is manageable, especially when approached with the right mindset. Here's how you can start mastering your own perspective. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, how else can I view this? Take a step back and look at the situation objectively. Remove the emotional filter and consider it as an outsider might. Is this setback really the end of the world, or is it simply a detour? Does this criticism define you, or can it refine you? Another powerful question is, what opportunity does this challenge offer me? Life's difficulties often come with hidden gifts. Maybe a failure teaches you resilience. Maybe a conflict helps you develop better communication skills. Even in the hardest moments, there is always something to be gained. Remember, perspective is not about denying reality or pretending that hardships don't exist. It's about choosing how you interpret and respond to them. It's about reclaiming your power in situations that seem beyond your control. The same storm that terrifies one person can invigorate another. The difference is in how they see it. When you master the art of perspective, you gain a superpower. You become unshakable. Life may throw its worst at you, but you'll remain calm, composed, and ready to adapt. You'll see the world not as a series of obstacles, but as a field of opportunities. And in that, you'll find a profound sense of peace. So the next time you face a challenge, remember, you hold the brush. You decide how to paint the canvas of your life. Choose wisely and watch as your calm transforms the world around you. Lesson 4. Control what you can, release what you can't. There's a simple but profound truth at the heart of Stoicism. Some things are within your control and others are not. This lesson, if embraced, can free you from a lifetime of unnecessary suffering. The Stoics believed that peace of mind comes from focusing on what is within your power while releasing your grip on what isn't. Epictetus framed it perfectly. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. What's up to you? Your thoughts, your actions, your choices. What's not? The opinions of others, the outcomes of your efforts, or the random events that unfold in the world. To waste energy on what you cannot influence is to fight the tides with a sieve. But to master what is within your control is to wield true power. Think of a storm at sea. You cannot control the waves or the wind. You cannot command the storm to stop or redirect its fury. But you can control how you steer your ship. You can adjust your sails, secure your position, and navigate through the chaos with skill and composure. This is the essence of Stoicism, mastering your inner world so that you remain calm and resolute, no matter what storms rage around you. Consider a practical example. Imagine you've applied for a job that you're deeply passionate about. You've prepared thoroughly, polished your resume, and nailed the interview. At this point, your effort, what you can control, is complete. But the decision, that lies in the hands of the employer. You could spend days anxiously refreshing your inbox, imagining worst-case scenarios or questioning your self-worth. But none of that changes the outcome. Instead, the Stoic approach would be to focus on what's next, perhaps preparing for other opportunities, honing your skills, or simply enjoying the present moment. This principle applies to relationships as well. You cannot control how others feel about you, how they react, or the choices they make. Trying to manipulate these things leads to frustration and often conflict. What you can control is how you treat others, how you communicate, and how you choose to respond to their actions. By focusing on your own behavior and letting go of the need to control others, you'll find your relationships become healthier and more balanced. But let's not mistake this Stoic principle for passivity. It's not about surrendering to fate or giving up in the face of adversity. On the contrary, it's about taking powerful, deliberate action where it counts on the things you can influence. It's about recognizing your role as the captain of your inner life, steering with wisdom and clarity, while accepting the things beyond your command with grace. There's a liberating exercise in Stoicism that helps reinforce this lesson. Each day, take a moment to reflect on what's troubling you. Write down the things that are within your control and the things that aren't. Then make a conscious decision to focus your energy only on the former. You'll quickly see how much mental weight can be lifted by simply releasing the futile desire to control the uncontrollable. Let's revisit the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who governed an empire fraught with wars and political intrigue. Despite the immense pressures of his role, he remained steadfast in this principle. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Even a ruler of the known world acknowledged that true power lies not in controlling external events, but in mastering oneself. When you accept this, you'll find an unshakable calm. You'll stop wasting energy on battles you cannot win, and instead channel your focus into the areas where you can truly make a difference. This is where growth happens. This is where resilience is forged. So, the next time life throws a curveball, when plans fall apart, when people disappoint you, or when the unexpected happens, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, take action. In this balance lies the secret to living a calm, centered, and powerful life. Lesson 5. Practice voluntary discomfort. In a world that constantly seeks comfort and convenience, the idea of deliberately inviting discomfort might seem counterintuitive. Yet the Stoics knew that true resilience is built not in moments of ease, but in times of challenge. They believed that by practicing voluntary discomfort, we can train our minds and bodies to endure life's inevitable hardships with grace and composure. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, often advised living as though the worst had already happened. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" By exposing himself to discomfort, Seneca prepared his mind to face adversity without fear. The modern world, with all its luxuries and conveniences, has made discomfort a rarity for many. But this ease comes at a cost. When we are constantly shielded from discomfort, we become fragile, unprepared for the challenges life inevitably brings. Voluntary discomfort is a way to inoculate ourselves against this fragility. It builds mental toughness, sharpens our sense of gratitude, and reminds us of how little we actually need to live well. Imagine spending a day fasting, going without your usual meals and snacks. At first, your body protests. You feel hunger, maybe even irritation. But as the day goes on, you begin to realize that you can function just fine without constant nourishment. The experience teaches you not only about your physical resilience, but also about the value of food when you break the fast. You eat with gratitude, savoring each bite, a feeling that might have been dulled by daily indulgence. Or consider taking a cold shower. The initial shock of the cold water is uncomfortable, even unpleasant. But as you endure, you learn to control your breathing, to remain calm in the face of discomfort. This small act of resilience trains your mind to stay composed under pressure, a skill that translates to more significant challenges in life. Voluntary discomfort isn't just about physical endurance, it's about mental fortitude. It's choosing to wake up early when your body craves more sleep. It's putting in the extra effort at work or in your studies when it's easier to procrastinate. It's having the difficult conversation when silence would be more comfortable. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand your capacity to handle life's adversities. The Stoics knew that by facing discomfort head-on, we strip it of its power. When you've willingly experienced hardship, you're less likely to fear it when it arrives uninvited. This is the essence of the Stoic mindset, preparing for the worst so that you can remain calm and steady, no matter what life throws your way. In today's world, practicing voluntary discomfort can be as simple as giving up a luxury for a short period. Try going without your phone for a day, walking instead of driving, or spending a weekend with minimal spending. These exercises remind you of your own resilience and help you appreciate the comforts you usually take for granted. Marcus Aurelius, a man who could have surrounded himself with every luxury, understood the value of self-discipline and resilience. He wrote, You could enjoy this very moment all the things you are praying to reach by taking the long road, if you'd stop depriving yourself of them. In other words, strength and peace are within your reach right now, if you are willing to embrace discomfort. So, seek out discomfort, not recklessly, but intentionally. Use it as a tool to strengthen your mind, to cultivate gratitude, and to prepare yourself for life's challenges. When comfort is no longer a necessity but a choice, you will find that you are capable of enduring far more than you ever thought possible. And in that resilience you will discover a calm that cannot be shaken. Lesson 6. Embrace the power of routine. In a world filled with distractions and constant change, the Stoics recognized the power of a structured, purposeful routine. To them, routine was not a means of stifling creativity or spontaneity, but a vital tool for maintaining control over one's actions, thoughts, and emotions. By embracing a well-crafted routine, you ensure that your day is shaped by intentional choices, not by the whims of external events. Marcus Aurelius, who faced daily turmoil as a ruler, understood the importance of routine. He wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some social purpose. It is not for you to wonder or to plan the course of events, but to focus on your own actions day by day." A routine, when designed with purpose, allows you to dedicate time to what truly matters. It creates a foundation upon which you can build your life, bringing order and purpose to the chaos of existence. For Stoics, routine was the bedrock of self-discipline. By dedicating specific times to work, study, rest, and reflection, you prevent your mind from being overwhelmed by the endless stream of external stimuli. Instead, you reclaim your power, directing your energy toward what you can control. Consider how a daily routine grounds you. The simple act of waking up at the same time each day, even before the world stirs, sets the tone for what's to come. It's a commitment to consistency. In the quiet morning hours, you might take time to meditate, reflect on your values, or prepare for the challenges ahead. This sets your mind in a calm, purposeful state, ready to face whatever comes with equanimity. A well-structured routine also makes space for Stoic practices such as journaling, reflection, and self-examination. Every evening before you sleep, take a moment to reflect on your day. What went well? What could have been improved? Did you live in alignment with your values? These moments of reflection, embedded within your routine, are crucial for growth. But a routine is not just about productivity, it's also about care for your body and mind. The Stoics understood that a healthy body supports a healthy mind. Regular physical exercise, proper rest, and healthy eating all play a role in building the resilience necessary to endure life's trials. By integrating these habits into your routine, you ensure that you are both physically and mentally prepared for the challenges of the day. A routine also serves to protect you from the distractions of the world. The noise of social media, the pressure to meet external expectations, and the temptation to indulge in short-term pleasures can easily derail your focus. But when you have a clear, intentional routine, you become less susceptible to these distractions. You are grounded in your purpose, anchored in your values, and guided by your daily practices. It's important to remember, though, that routine does not mean rigidity. The Stoics were not advocating for a life devoid of flexibility. Rather, they emphasized the need for balance. A routine should create space for both work and rest, for action and reflection. It should allow you to be present in the moment, without feeling pressured to constantly be doing. Seneca captured this balance beautifully when he said, "It is not the time that is lacking to us, but it is we who are lacking to the time." A well-structured routine ensures that you're not simply busy but productive in a way that serves your greater purpose. It helps you make the most of the time you have, and in doing so, it gives you more time for the things that truly matter: peace, reflection, and growth. The key to a Stoic routine is intentionality. It's about knowing your priorities, understanding your values, and shaping your day around them. As you embrace this, you'll find that your life becomes more focused, more resilient, and more aligned with your deepest purpose. So, as you move forward, ask yourself, what does my routine say about me? Is it aligned with the person you want to become? If not, begin to make small adjustments and watch how your life transforms. The power of routine is the power of control, and with it, you will find a calm steadiness that the world's chaos cannot disturb. Lesson 7. Master the art of perception. One of the most profound insights of Stoicism is that our suffering often comes not from events themselves, but from how we perceive those events. The Stoics taught that reality is neutral. It is our judgments and interpretations that create emotional turmoil. By mastering the art of perception, we gain control over our inner world, no matter what is happening in the external world. Marcus Aurelius was keenly aware of the power of perception. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So guard yourself from the passions that lead you astray." In other words, it's not the events of your life that dictate your happiness, but the way you choose to see them. You think about a difficult situation you've experienced. Perhaps you've faced a setback at work, had a disagreement with a loved one, or encountered a failure of some kind. In the moment, it can feel as if these events are unbearable. But consider how much of your distress comes from the way you interpret these events. How much of it comes from your thoughts about what happened, rather than the event itself? The Stoics teach that by changing our perception, we can change our emotional response. A setback at work is not a personal failure, it's an opportunity to learn and improve. A disagreement with a loved one is not an attack on your character, it's a chance to grow in understanding and patience. The pain of failure is not a reflection of your worth, it's a signal that you need to adjust, try again, and grow stronger. To master the art of perception is to understand that we have the power to choose how we interpret life's events. This isn't about ignoring the difficulty or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's about acknowledging reality as it is, without unnecessary judgment. When we accept events for what they are rather than for what we think they should be, we free ourselves from needless suffering. Seneca reminds us of this powerful truth. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How many times have you imagined the worst-case scenario, only to find that the actual outcome wasn't as bad as you anticipated? Often the mind magnifies fears, creating suffering where none exists. By focusing on the present moment and reinterpreting situations through a Stoic lens, we can see things as they truly are, neither good nor bad, just as they are. Take a moment to reflect on your life. What are you currently facing? Are you seeing it with clarity, or have you allowed your emotions and judgments to distort the situation? The Stoic practice of examining and adjusting our perceptions can help us break free from negative thought patterns and maintain clear perspective. One powerful Stoic exercise is to consciously reframe your thinking. When you find yourself upset or overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, what is the real nature of this situation? What am I assuming about it that may not be true? By shifting your focus to the objective facts, you remove the emotional layers that often cloud your judgment. This shift in perception allows you to maintain control over your response rather than letting external circumstances dictate how you feel. This doesn't mean that challenges and hardships won't arise. They will. But with the Stoic mindset, you begin to see them not as threats, but as opportunities for growth. Pain, failure, and frustration become tools for strengthening your character. By perceiving these experiences through the lens of Stoic wisdom, you'll find that you can face anything with a sense of calm and clarity. Epictetus also encourages us to challenge our perceptions when he says, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." When you change your opinions, you change your experience of life. The world may throw challenges your way, but how you perceive and respond to those challenges is entirely up to you. This is the true power of perception, the ability to transform adversity into opportunity, fear into courage, and turmoil into peace. So, as you move through your life, remember this key Stoic lesson: you are the master of your perceptions. The next time you encounter a difficult situation, stop and ask yourself how you're perceiving it. Is your view clouded by fear, anger, or judgment? If so, reframe your perspective, and you will find that even the most challenging moments can be faced with composure and clarity. By mastering your perception, you master your emotional state, and in doing so you unlock the power to remain calm, no matter what the world throws at you. Lesson 8. Focus on what you can control. In the ever-changing landscape of life, one of the greatest Stoic principles is to focus solely on what you can control. The world is filled with forces beyond our influence: other people's actions, the state of the economy, natural disasters, and the unpredictable tides of fate. Yet too often we waste our energy fighting against what we cannot change, leaving ourselves exhausted, frustrated, and out of balance. The Stoics teach us to direct our energy toward what we can control: our own actions, thoughts, and responses. Epictetus, in his timeless wisdom, said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." It is up to us to choose our actions, our attitudes, and our thoughts. What happens to us is not up to us, but how we respond is. This understanding is liberating. It shifts our focus from the uncontrollable aspects of life to the one thing that we can always influence: ourselves. Consider the challenges you face on a daily basis. How often do you find yourself stressed or anxious about things outside your control? The weather, the opinions of others, the state of the world, these are all external forces that cannot be changed, no matter how much time or energy you dedicate to them. The Stoics would advise that you stop wasting your precious resources on these things. Instead, focus your attention on your own behavior, your own thoughts, and your own reactions. The key to focusing on what you can control is acceptance. By accepting that there are things beyond our control, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to change them. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. Rather, it means that you choose to invest your energy where it will be most effective. Imagine you're facing a challenging situation at work. Your boss gives you a tough deadline, and your colleagues are demanding your time. The situation is stressful, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But take a step back and assess: what can you control here? You can control your level of effort, the quality of your work, and how you manage your time. You can control your emotional responses, how you choose to handle the pressure. The deadline itself, the demands of others, the stress of the situation, these are all things outside your control. But how you choose to act and respond is entirely yours. By focusing on what you can control, you transform stress into empowerment. You stop being a passive victim of external circumstances and become an active participant in shaping your own experience. This shift in mindset is powerful. It frees you from the weight of things you cannot change and puts the power back in your hands, where it belongs. This lesson also extends to your relationships. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond to them. When someone treats you unfairly, it's easy to become angry or defensive. But if you focus on what you can control, your own response, you can remain calm, composed, and centered, no matter how others act. In this way, you retain your peace and maintain your dignity, regardless of external actions. Focusing on what you can control also means taking responsibility for your own choices. In every moment, you have the power to choose how you respond to life's circumstances. You may not be able to control the world around you, but you can control your thoughts, your actions, and your attitudes. When you embrace this responsibility, you move from a position of helplessness to one of strength and agency. By narrowing your focus to what is within your power, you eliminate the noise and distractions of the world. You stop reacting to external events and start responding with purpose. This allows you to maintain a calm, steady presence, no matter the storm around you. Seneca spoke about this beautifully when he said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality, because we anticipate what we cannot control, and in doing so we rob ourselves of peace." The mind often magnifies the fears and uncertainties of life, leading us to imagine countless outcomes that we cannot predict or influence. But when we shift our focus to what we can control, our own responses, we gain the power to face any situation with equanimity. As you move forward, remind yourself that you have the power to control how you approach life. External events will always be unpredictable, but your inner response is yours to shape. Focus on what you can control, and you will find that calmness and strength become your default state, no matter the circumstances. When you let go of the need to control everything outside of yourself, you free your mind to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your actions, and your ability to remain steadfast and composed. Lesson 9. Practice resilience in adversity. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. No one is exempt from hardship, loss, or failure. The Stoics did not deny the reality of suffering. Instead, they taught us how to endure it with grace, strength, and resilience. To them, adversity was not something to fear or avoid, but an essential part of the human experience that could lead to personal growth and wisdom. In fact, Stoic philosophy encourages us to actively seek hardship, not as a means of suffering for suffering's sake, but as a means of building resilience and fortitude. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In these words, he reflects a core Stoic teaching: obstacles are not obstacles at all. Instead, they are the path. When faced with difficulty, instead of resisting it, we should embrace it, knowing that it is through struggle that we develop strength. Every hardship, every challenge is an opportunity to grow and refine our character. Consider the challenges you've faced in your life. What did you learn from them? How did they shape you? In the moment, adversity can feel overwhelming. But with the Stoic mindset, you begin to see that each difficulty contains a lesson, a chance to develop resilience. Whether it's a setback at work, a personal loss, or a moment of failure, the Stoic approach is to see these events not as threats to our happiness, but as opportunities to cultivate inner strength. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or discomfort, it is about enduring it with composure and determination. The Stoics did not view pain as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a natural part of life to be accepted and navigated. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Just as physical training makes the body stronger, emotional and mental challenges make the mind more resilient. The more we endure hardship with the right mindset, the stronger we become in the face of future challenges. To practice resilience, start by reframing the way you view adversity. Instead of seeing it as something to fear, see it as a tool for growth. When difficulties arise, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this challenge to improve myself? This mindset shift will change the way you approach every hardship, transforming it from something negative into something that drives you forward. Resilience also requires an unwavering commitment to what is within your control. When adversity strikes, the Stoics urge us to focus on our thoughts and actions rather than the uncontrollable circumstances surrounding us. We cannot always control the external world, but we can always control how we respond to it. When faced with hardship, take a moment to reflect, what choice do I have in this situation? By empowering yourself with the understanding that you can control your reactions, you gain the strength to weather any storm. Moreover, resilience is cultivated by maintaining a sense of purpose in the face of adversity. The Stoics believed that a life lived with purpose was a life capable of enduring any hardship. When you know your values, when you understand your deeper mission in life, adversity becomes less daunting. Challenges no longer threaten your happiness or well-being because your sense of purpose transcends the discomfort. Think of the Stoic warriors of old who faced life or death situations with unwavering resolve. Their resilience was rooted not in the absence of fear or pain, but in their commitment to their values and their ability to act in accordance with those values, regardless of external circumstances. This is the essence of Stoic resilience, not a denial of suffering, but the courage to face it head-on, armed with the knowledge that this too shall pass and that we are capable of enduring it. It's important to remember that resilience does not happen overnight. Like any skill, it requires practice. The more you expose yourself to life's challenges, the more you will strengthen your resilience. Start by intentionally seeking out discomfort. Take on projects that stretch your abilities, engage in difficult conversations, or tackle personal goals that challenge you. With each new challenge, you will grow stronger and more resilient, capable of handling even greater adversity with grace and composure. In the end, resilience is the ultimate tool for maintaining calm under pressure. When you develop the strength to face adversity without fear, without panic, you unlock a sense of peace that no external circumstance can shake. As you cultivate resilience, you will find that your capacity to stay calm in the face of difficulty grows exponentially, allowing you to remain steady even when the world around you seems to be falling apart. So, when adversity comes your way, do not shrink from it. Embrace it as a teacher, a challenge, and an opportunity for growth. By practicing resilience, you will not only become more unshakable in your calmness, but you will also become a more powerful, more formidable version of yourself. As we close this journey through Stoic lessons to keep calm, remember that the path to peace and composure is not found in avoiding life's challenges, but in how we choose to face them. The Stoics understood that life will always throw obstacles our way, but it is through our responses, our thoughts, our actions, our mindset, that we gain true control. By focusing on what we can control, practicing resilience, embracing the present moment, and remaining grounded in our values, we cultivate a peace that no external force can shatter. Stoicism is not a theory, but a practice. It requires dedication, daily effort, and a willingness to grow through adversity. But the reward is priceless: a calm mind, a steady heart, and an unshakable sense of purpose. So, take these lessons into your own life. Apply them in every moment, and you will find that calmness is not a rare gift, but a natural state that arises when we live in alignment with our highest self. Remember, the calm you seek is always within you. It's up to you to choose it. Thank you for watching. If these Stoic teachings resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to live a life of strength, wisdom, and tranquility. Stay calm, stay strong, and keep moving forward with Stoic resolve.